Hey guys, have you ever wondered why China is hoarding food? China's hoarding massive amounts of food. It says the US Department of Agriculture has said that China will soon have 69% of the globe's corn reserves, 60% of its rice, and 51% of its wheat. Now, does that sound concerning to you? But when asked, people say China just lies about it. So let's get you some more information regarding this so you guys can be better prepared. If you guys are brand new here, welcome to our awesome community where we do prepping tips, emergency preparedness, how-tos, and we go over news that could affect you. If you find value in that, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. Now, before we get going, I'm really excited to announce Taiwan Outdoors. I'll put a link down in the description. It's a new channel that I have. So for any of you guys out there that are into outdoors, fishing, hunting, it'd be awesome if you guys came over to that channel to check it out. So a company by the name of Patriots put out a really good article regarding what China's doing. Let's look into it. So the data show that China is clearly hoarding food, says the experts. They, of course, will never admit to something like that. Now, I've been hearing about this for a while. China hoarding up food, buying up actually all of our food. Actually, they're buying up our land too and our farms, putting up facilities, and you know what? Shipping it all back to China. The communist food shopping spree shows no sign of slowing down anytime soon, which begs the question, why is China hoarding all of the food? Have you ever thought, what do they know that we don't know? Or is it just because they're running out of food? A lot of people are questioning, maybe they know something that we don't know. Maybe they know what's coming. I mean, we do know that China is starting to hook up with Russia, and between them and maybe another couple countries, they're going to be going against NATO and those countries. I mean, that's kind of what it's looking like. It's looking like it's going to be A against B. Is that the reason why they're hoarding so much food? Or is there other things at play? You see, when it comes to food shortages, China is the canary in a coal mine, because as the world's #1 importer of food, they rely the rest of the world to keep their people fed. And I've been to a couple countries like that, where everything gets imported in. Like Iceland, did you know that nearly everything gets imported into Iceland? Probably because they can't grow too much there. Well, it sounds like China is kind of in the same scenario, where they need everything imported in. So it says that China cannot afford to mess up, or the result will be riots, civil panic, or even worse, total famine. Over 1 billion people won't eat. So a lot of people think that they're using food as a weapon. And we kind of think that that's what's going on around here these days, right? Control the food, control the people. And I think we're seeing that come to light more and more. If you guys didn't know, a lot of the global elites are starting to gain control over all of the major food companies. Even companies like Burt's Bees, these little natural small-time brands that you think of, and you guys just thought that it was some small little company that was all natural. Well, no, they're getting bought out by the big box stores. They're getting bought out by the big guys. And where we once knew that they had a reputation for all natural ingredients, a lot of times that changes as well. So what does this mean for Americans like you and me? 2 words, food shortages. You know how many people they gotta feed over there? There are 38 million Americans, including 12 million children, who are struggling with food insecurity. If you didn't think about that before, that's a lot. As inflation and supply chain disruptions continue to push food costs higher and higher, families struggle to make ends meet. And we're seeing that everywhere, guys. Whether it's inflation on food, people not being able to afford the inflated prices. I mean, guys, look at eggs alone. Seriously? We used to be able to buy eggs for $2 a dozen, even under $2 a dozen. And like I've told you guys before, we're getting reports of people paying upwards of $18 for a 12-pack, 18-pack. And with the common price floating between $6 and $8. I read the comments in our videos. I know that more people than not are spending between $6 and $8 for a dozen eggs than those people that are still spending between $2 and $3. And a lot of times that's just because they're really close to the source. John Boyd Jr., a 4th-generation farmer, warns that food shortages are coming to America. And I think a lot of us agree with that statement. It may not be yet or just on certain things in certain places, but I do believe that that's coming. Remember, the Chinese are going to import every scrap of food that they can, and they will pay top dollar for it too. And that's a really good point, because when it comes to America business, most of these big shots, they don't care about Americans. These big elites, guaranteed they're going to be selling our food to the highest bidder because they make money. Look at the oil. When we happen to see our prices go through the roof, or we happen to see fuel shortages, the real reason is usually that we're shipping and selling more over to European countries, especially in this last 12 months. It says that the Chinese want to put the world's pantry in a headlock. In a country like China, you look at how they're operating over there, they definitely know that they can control the people through food. That means rising prices, empty store shelves for us. It's already happening. Have you seen the prices at the grocery store lately? Geez, guys, I've been seeing prices on certain things that are astronomical. I mean, people that are still able to purchase a steak are spending the amount they would spend at a nice restaurant to pick up the raw steak at the grocery store, you feel? And leading industry sources here in the United States are also worried about food shortages. Experts say grocery hoarding may come as disruptions push America's food supply near its breaking point. And all these naysayers that don't believe about emergency preparedness, you wait. These people are gonna wake up one day and be like, wow, I can't either afford the food or the food ain't there to buy. The result of all of this means that having your own personal food stockpile is more important than ever. And I can't agree with that statement more. And we've been telling you guys for 2 years now about having an emergency stockpile. We've shown you our underground root cellar that we made under our house. And we've got a stockpile that's gonna take care of us for a while. And we've went over what to stockpile, what to put down there, talked about rotating your supplies, buying what you use. We've got a lot of great people in our community that throw awesome tips to the rest of the community, and I've read their comments, and thank you, community, for throwing in your 2 cents and helping our community out. So if you don't take action, or you stockpile the wrong foods, you could be setting your family up to go hungry in a time of crisis. This is true. You can't just go buy a bunch of stuff and think you're good, and a year later, still think you're good. There's more things that go into this. It sounds harsh, but the truth is too many people with good intentions are making critical mistakes with their survival food. Can't agree with that more. There's a lot to learn. This whole prepping game, this whole emergency preparedness lifestyle, there's a lot to learn. But the nice thing is that you can learn with baby steps. Move forward, 1 step at a time each day. You don't have to take leaps, but you definitely want to start now if you haven't. So they're referring to mistakes like getting MREs with a 5-year shelf life. Depending on where you purchase them, they could be near expiration. And that's a good point. A lot of us don't think about that. You go to the store, maybe you see a Mountain House sitting there. Well, maybe it sat there at another store, didn't sell, so then this store picked it up to fill their shelves. What's the date on that freeze-dried food? Did you check? Because it's plastered last 5 years, last 10 years, last 15 years, but maybe it's already been 10 years. Getting gross survival foods that are tough on the stomach and so high in salt, MSG, and preservatives, you could clog your arteries and get sick yourself. Now, I've been eating emergency food since I was young because I've been backpacking my whole life, and that's what you bring. There's definitely good ones and there's definitely bad ones. Going on, or simply getting the wrong foods and leaving a critical hole in your meal plan, which means you are at risk of becoming malnourished. A lot more goes into it than you think. That's why being part of communities like ours, where we continue to give you prepping tips, emergency preparedness how-tos, trying to help you guys be at the top of your game. I can't stress enough to be part of a good community like that. So with that, obviously waiting on the government for a handout in a disaster just is not an option. And have you noticed our populations these days? That's where it's getting to. They want to expect money. They want to expect free food. And you know what? What happens when SHTF happens? they're going to be looking to the government for a handout. Is that a way to control the people? So it's leaning on the government, or we're completely turned off by crazy high prices of survival foods sold by some of the companies, because they're very expensive. So that's why so many people are buying some of the best-selling 4 Patriots survival food packs. Is it the only company out there to get survival food? Definitely not. But regarding me and me keeping a good reputation, I gotta tell you guys my honest opinion. Do I think that they have good tasting food? Yes, I've tried many of them. In fact, I've tried them in front of you guys in previous videos. Ones like this, in which, in case you missed it, you should probably watch it because it was a really good one. But yes, I can confidently say that the food tastes good. Because when it comes to freeze-dried food, people that have had it for a long time, MREs and stuff like that, it's been known to be like survival food, you know? You're only gonna like it if you're super, super hungry. Well, in this case, I can say it tastes pretty darn good for freeze-dried food. Another big factor is expense. Is this stuff expensive? It's not expensive when you compare it across the board. In fact, that's one big reason why I like pushing 4 Patriots emergency food packs, because more people can afford them. It says here that currently the 4 Patriots survival food kits are flying off the shelves because 4 Patriots survival food kits are tremendous value. This is not ordinary food. It's delicious, nutritious, good for 25 years. Super survival food that helps you keep going when you're hungry in a crisis. And I'm gonna condense the rest. They don't spend extra money in making fancy packages because people like me are sharing the news on this stuff, and they don't have to go to big supermarkets, big grocery stores, or sell to the big box stores. And you know what? They could, but they don't want to. They wanna be a valued hub for people like you and I. They're definitely shooting to take care of the patriots out there. Did you guys know that you guys can make these meals in less than 20 minutes? And all it takes is some hot water, some boiled water, which makes making emergency food very convenient and having the benefit that it actually tastes good. So what I'm gonna do for our community is I'm gonna put some special links down in the description. They're big food packs. I mean, you can get a year's supply. So if you're just jumping into this prepping game and you really feel like you're behind, and you can handle purchasing a year's worth, they'll send you a year's worth in totes sized to fit underneath your bed. It's crazy, I love it. And right here it also, in highlights, says you can get an easy, no-nonsense monthly payment plan with no interest. When's the last time you guys heard about layaway, right? And that's another great aspect. I could push all different kinds of freeze-dried foods, emergency food packs, and I may down the road. But in this case, knowing that this company offers payment plans with no interest to people, that honestly really hits home with me, because I know some people out there just can't cut it, but it's so important to them to stock up on food. I'll also add that on one of these bundles, you also get $205 worth of free gifts if you purchase one of their bundles, and these are cool. You're gonna get a couple 72-hour survival food kits. You're gonna get a 3-month kit. So if you buy the 3-month kit, you're gonna get 2 extra 72-hour survival kits, which I really like those. They're already packaged together in one package. They're small. I'll take a picture of it for you. There's what it looks like. But knowing that you could throw a little 72 in your bug out bag or keep one in your car. I mean, even if you guys were restricted on budget or didn't want to do a 3-month or a 1 year, buying a 72-hour, having that thing so that you can grab it to keep in, like I said, your car. Really smart. You can also keep it in your bug out bag or your backpack that you're ready to grab and go for if something goes down. And it goes through a list of all this free stuff you're gonna get. I can put that down in the description below, but it also emphasizes hurry up while supplies last, and they do run out. A few months ago, I remember them being out. And if a frenzy happens, guys, a little panic out there, these places like this get sold out quick, and then you're on a waiting list. So make sure if this happens to be on your checklist, don't get in that situation. In conclusion, it says you'll have a peace of mind and security that comes with having your very own survival food stockpile. A great tasting survival food protection without a sticker shock. I like that. Here in this picture, it's their actual food. I mean, it looks homemade, and it tastes great. So like I said, whether it's 4 Patriots or any other type of food preps out there, you guys definitely want to take action or step up your game these days, because you guys definitely don't want to be part of the group that is characterized as the brainwashed everything's fine group. And there's still people out there that are like, oh, everything's normal. Really? Have you been asleep the last couple of years? Maybe you don't have time to cycle through your preps throughout the year and use things up before certain things expire. Maybe you're the type that would just like to know that you're good for a solid 25 years. And that's definitely some people. A good time to start with all that was yesterday. And if you've already been going full steam ahead, take it up a notch, because things are getting worse faster and faster these days. Last thing that you guys want is a crisis to hit and your family asking you, what is there to eat? If you aren't ready for that, and for whatever reason, stores are shut down, power outages, EMP, it could be anything. It could be food shortages. It could be inflation going through the roof to where you actually can't afford it anymore. What are you gonna say to the family? What are you gonna say to the family when they ask, what's there to eat? Are you gonna remember back to a video like this where you were hee-hawing around about purchasing a little bit of extra emergency preps? Like I said, you guys don't have to buy this stuff. Just getting prepared in general is the idea. So let me end with this. How much better will it make you feel if you secure your emergency food stockpile today and you have it in the bag, you have it under your bed? I can promise most of you that will give you a very satisfying feeling for when that crisis or hard time does hit, knowing that you're gonna have what you need for a little while. We don't know when that crisis is gonna hit or what it's gonna look like. As far as I see it these days, it's every man for himself. Because in a crisis, the loss is far too imaginable. That's why I want you guys to have the same peace of mind as I do. So again, a company that I stand behind, links down in the description. If not this company, find a company. Again, guys, if you've made it to the end of the video, don't forget, if you guys like hunting and fishing, you guys can come over and follow me at my new channel, Taiwan Outdoors. It's just one of those things that I'm passionate about, and I want to make some videos, and they should be good ones. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day, productive day. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.